Hey guys, it's Lynx here, and I just kind of wanted to bring up a subject that I've been talking a lot about, and that a lot of people have been talking a lot about. Now, mostly this is in response to Walter Hampton's video, but a lot of other YouTubers have spoken about this. Now, they've spoken about this from the perspective of the African American community, yada yada. Truth of the matter is, it does expand a bit further, and other people like Tommy Sotomayor or whatever. I agree with some of the things that these people are saying. Same thing with Walter. I agree with some of the things that he says. I don't have to agree with everything in order to be a fan. I really don't. Anyone who thinks that you have to agree with everything in order to be a fan, that's not a fan, that's a stan, and I'm not a stan. So with that part out of the way, so if people want to say Tommy's name or Walter's name or Zem's name or, I don't know, Rick Scorpio's name, say it all you want. But it's not a matter of them or that. So that's out of the way. I'm basically going to be talking about single parents and same-sex parents. Why? Because they have something in common. This isn't just a black thing. This isn't an everybody thing. But this is a reality thing. A single mother... Let me back that up. I'm a product of a single parent household. My mom was a single mom. A lot of women will be quick to say, I'm doing this on my own. I'm raising you by myself. That's not the truth. The reality of the matter is that it takes a village to raise a child. Why do you think the saying became a saying? It became a saying because it's true. And you might think it's not, but I'm going to explain to you how it is, and then I'll jump into how it applies to a single parent or a same-sex couple. The way it is true that it takes a village to raise a child is in this. Parents are not with their children 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The neighborhood that you live in will have a direct influence on your child along with your behavior. So even if you are the model woman, the neighborhood that you're in will be raising your child or will be assisting you in raising your child. Now, if you are in a shitty village, well, guess what kind of values your child will pick up? Guess what kind of habits your child will pick up? Guess what kind of mentality your child will pick up? Let's say you choose a good village. Think about the habits your child will pick up. The mentality your child will pick up. Now, how does this relate to single parents and same-sex parents? Let's look at single mothers first, and then we'll look at single fathers. Single mothers, let's say you have a son. Let's put yourself in my situation growing up, because this is essentially what this is all about. My situation growing up and watching around me the things that happened to the others who were in my position, but were in different villages. And to drive that point home, my cousin, okay? We are members of the exact same family. We have the exact same birthday, 1 year apart. I grew up in a good village. I had positive examples of men around me. This does not mean that my home life was fantastic, because it wasn't. It was an abusive household. I'm not getting into that. But, the male role model that was living in my home was a poor example of what a man is. But I grew up in a good village in which I had examples, positive male examples around me. A lot of my friends had their fathers, and their fathers took it upon themselves to treat me like I was their other son. to show me those things that my own father was not there to show me, to have those conversations with me that my own father was not there to have with me. I know that a lot of women like to feel that, well, I'm a mother and a father. You're not. It's impossible. It is impossible. The only way, okay, let's think about it this way. How can a woman relate to her male child going through puberty? She can't. She can't. They lack testosterone. This is biological, okay? They lack testosterone. Because they lack that one hormone, they cannot possibly understand what it is that a male is going through when he's going through puberty. They can sympathize and be like, hey, I know it sucks, but do they really understand what morning wood is all about? They don't. They know it happens. Some of them don't even know it happens. I've run across women who didn't even know that a man can make his dick jump. Like, voluntarily. Anytime it's ever happened, they always thought it was involuntary. They didn't know that, no, you can voluntarily do that shit. So let's think about these things. How many women would understand the concept of blue balls for a virgin male? And to be able to explain that to him and why it's happening. She can't, because she doesn't have them. So what the smart woman would do is go to a neighborhood or a village in which there are positive males around. Because any man who is truly a man, or any man who is a father, will have no problem at all stepping in to fill that role. Stepping in to be that example. If anything, because a lot of men are ego, it's an ego boost. Wow, you want me to talk to your son about this? Gladly. Now let's go on to single fathers. Let's say you're a single father with a daughter. And I know no woman will disagree with me on this one. They'll disagree with me on my saying a woman can't raise a boy to be a man because she doesn't know how to be a man, because she's a woman. She needs to know how to be a woman, not how to be a man. They'll disagree with me on that, but they won't disagree with me on this. A man cannot teach a woman how to be a woman. He cannot teach her how to be a lady. What is he going to do when she has her period? He could read from a textbook. Mom could read from a textbook. He can read from a textbook. But does he really know? Does he have the experience? He doesn't. He doesn't know what those cramps feel like. He doesn't know what it's like to wake up in the morning and your stuff is all of a sudden bleeding and you don't know why. He doesn't know what that experience is like. He cannot possibly help her. What a woman can do for her son is A, love her son, because she would be the first time that the boy knows the love of a woman without the expectation of sex. And that is important. It is important that he knows that kind of love because it helps him with his self-worth. It helps him know that he is worthy of love outside of his body. So that's why it's important. And a man can teach a girl what it means to know the love of a man without the expectation of sex. This will help her. It'll help her with her sense of value, to know that she is more than her body. When some guy comes up to her to start kicking his game, she's like, okay, you can tell me that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm beautiful because my father tells me that I'm beautiful. He told me that I was beautiful my whole life. Come up with something else. She's not going to be easily fooled. She's not going to be easily gained. She's going to have higher expectations that her father presented. So, I mean, this is where a two-parent household, male-female household works. I'm gay, and I'm saying it. It's true. It works. Why? Because if that male and female household has a son and the father is worth a shit, the son now has a positive male role model to base what a man is on. And he sees the positive relationship with his mother and has a basis, a foundation on which to build a relationship. If he never sees it, where's his example? His example is in the village. A man can tell a woman what a man expects of a woman, but that's not telling her how to be a woman. She's never going to learn how to be a partner in that fashion. A woman can tell a boy what a woman expects of a man, Now, how does this relate to same-sex couples? Well, two men. What are two men going to do with a girl? Even a drag queen knows that he is still a man and that he does not know what the female experience is. Now, the same thing goes for lesbians. I don't care how butch she is. She does not know the male experience. So here's what I say. I say that the smart single parent or the smart same-sex parent will realize that it does take a village to raise your child. And given that it takes a village to raise your child, the smart person would use the resources around them. So therefore, if a gay male couple is trying to raise a daughter, when those times come for her to have very female conversations, to have very female concerns, how many men are even going to think, oh wait, she got her period, she needs to go to an OBGYN? I know I sure as hell didn't think about it until just now. Think about these things. The smart one would say, you know what, I'm a man, and I may be a gay man, and I may know what it's like to love other men, but I don't know this experience. Who does? Well, my female friend over here, who I know, she is responsible. She is the epitome of what I think a good woman is. Let me see if she is willing to help me raise my daughter or give my daughter this type of experience. Show my daughter what it means to be a woman, because I surely cannot. And the single mother should be doing the same. So, like I said, I got lucky in that I was in a village that had a lot of positive male role models around me. Because when positive role models are, and let's just talk about the absence of positive male role models for a minute. With the absence of them in the household, the only ones left, and if you're not willing to bring in a friend to have these difficult conversations that you really have no business having because you have no experience with them, if you're not doing those things, the village will raise your children. Now, my cousin, who is 1 year younger than me, same exact birthday, two completely different villages, had different male role models. The male role models in his life showed him that being a womanizer was okay. That it was okay to have more than one girlfriend. That it was okay at the same time without any of them knowing. Okay, because if you're in a polyamorous relationship, I don't care. I don't care. You all know about each other. There is no deception. There are no lies. You all know about each other. But this is a different situation. This is a situation in which these girls don't know about each other. One girl hates the other girl because he got her pregnant, and I think he has 7 kids now with 4 or 5 different women. Barely a job. He's still trying to live at home with his mama, and this was the example he was given. This is the village that raised him. The village that raised him said that women were nothing but objects, that there is no such thing as safe sex. You just stick your dick in it and pray to God that nothing happens. That you don't take responsibility for your children. Why? Because he's seen it all up around him. All the ballers with their money and their cars and everything else, not taking a damn care of their kids in the world. And this is what he saw. These are the examples he was given. And now here he is, an adult child who never learned what it meant to be a man, to stand on your own, to be on your own, to be a productive member of society. He never learned what that meant because it took a village to raise a child, and unfortunately the wrong village raised him. So single parents, don't think you're doing it by yourself, because you're not. You're not. Your village is helping to raise these children, so now you have to take additional responsibility to make sure that if you are not around 24 hours, 7 days a week, if you are not the proper gender to be able to relate to this child, that you put the child in an environment that will foster a positive outcome. Some people may think this is judgmental, and it is. I am totally placing judgment, and I'm placing judgment on those parents who are not taking responsibility for what they're doing. I understand that there are circumstances that not all single parents are, single parents because they were out there screwing everything that runs. Not all single parents are, single parents who were parents out of wedlock. I understand those things. Spouses die, divorces are had. This shit happens. That does not absolve you of responsibility for that child's welfare. That includes the neighborhood you live in. If you can't afford a good neighborhood, you better find a way to make it. It's sink or swim. It really is sink or swim. So if you can't afford it, find a way to make it. Because your child's future depends on it. The wrong village raising your child means your child becomes another statistic unless, and these chances are so slim, and this does pertain to the African American community. Unless that child is so precocious or forthgoing as to be able to break free of the chains in the shitty neighborhood in which he was brought. It's rare that it happens, but it does. Your child is doomed to be a statistic. It just is what it is. Agree, disagree, whatever. Reality is harsh. I'm not sitting here trying to say that I'm better. I'm not. What I am trying to say is, I had a better head start. What I'm trying to say is, I had better examples. What I am trying to say is, as a single parent, if you are going to be responsible, as a same-sex parent, or same-sex couple raising a child, if you're going to be smart, you have to let go of your ego. Your ego is what's telling you that you could do this on your own, that you are doing this on your own. That's your ego talking. Let go of your ego and let's just look at what the reality is. The reality is, if you're a single parent, you can do yourself, your child, and the society at large a huge favor by taking some additional responsibility. I've been doing a lot of talks on the black community and everything else, and I've been getting a lot of backlash for it, and I realized why. People who are doing things wrong are the ones who get upset. People who are not doing things optimally are the people who will get upset. Because no one wants to be told they're doing wrong, and the only time they would get upset is when they feel that it applies to them. It can only apply to you if you're the one doing it. Right? So I'm trying to broaden this because it's not just a black thing, it's an everybody thing. I've seen it with white single parents, black single parents, Latin single parents. I've seen the smart ones and I've seen the dumb ones. The smart ones use their resources. The dumb ones don't. There are parents out there who don't care about their children. Because if they did, the shitty neighborhood would not be raising them. Call it what it is. I know it's not how things should be, but it's how things are. And it's not that way for everybody. We all know that. Let's not go on that kick. Use a little bit of logic here. Jump a curb that high. You know we're not talking about everybody. And if I'm not talking about your circumstance, then this does not apply to you. But I am a product of a single parent household. I grew up in it. I got to see other single parent households from other places, and I got to see what the different parents' decisions did and how those decisions affected their children. My judgment is that there were smart decisions and dumb decisions. I am judging some decisions as being dumb. I'm not judging the people themselves. I'm judging the decisions that they made. The only judgment on the people that I would have anything about are the people who clearly do not care about their children. If you clearly don't care about it, because you know who you are. You've had the child out of wedlock. You didn't mean to get pregnant. You didn't mean to get pregnant by the guy you got pregnant by. And now you're stuck with this kid because you didn't have enough money for an abortion or because you wanted to stick it to him. You know who you are. It's not everybody, but you know who you are. I'm passing judgment on them, but they're not a part of this conversation. So that's my thing. If you're a same-sex couple, be smart. Be smart. Yes, you're a two-parent household, and it is awesome that a child has two parents that love that child. And if you happen to be two gay men with a son, your lives are going to be easy. Easy. You two can raise that child almost by yourselves. You still need a village because, I'm sorry, your child is going to most likely be straight, and he's going to need to know the expectations of a man from a woman. So you're still going to have to use your resources. But be smart about what you're doing. Use your resources. Use your friends. If you know that you're a lesbian raising a boy, use your male friends. If you are a gay man raising a girl, use your female friends. Single mom, male friends. Male neighbors. Single dad, female friends. Female neighbors. Be smart about these things. You'll just be helping the rest of us, yourselves, and the community as a whole. So that's all I got on this one. And like I said, it's really just a reply to Walter. I know that this was really long. And I agree with Walter on this. Me and Walter are in agreement that single parents are causing a lot of issues because of the poor choices that they are making. Single parents are making bad choices. And it hurts more when it's single black parents making these bad choices because I have to deal with it later on. And other people have to deal with it later on. So, whatever. This is Lynx. Let me know what you think about the whole single parent, not single parent thing. Tell me about your experiences, either as a child growing up in a single parent household. What was your village like? Are you honest enough with yourself? Are you honest enough to talk about or to even understand, or not understand, sorry, to talk about, digest, and realize what those things were, what that experience was. Anyhow, bring it on. You guys can always follow me at LynxSavage on Twitter. You can find me at lynxsavage.tumblr.com. You can also check me out on Facebook. Just look up Brutal Lynx Bear, I think is how I'm on there. I barely check Facebook anymore. Well, I actually, no, that's a fucking lie. I check Facebook all the time. I just don't look at my own name on Facebook. So, but the links are around. You guys will enjoy it. Leave your comments. And I do want to do another Ask Lynx, mail time. The mail's here. I want to do another The Mail's Here. So keep submitting your questions. I do have a few questions that were given. They were good questions. I'm just waiting for some more. And that's that. I hope you guys have a good one. Don't forget to check out the mailmediamind.com as well. That's right. I will always plug M3. So that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.